Good morning, everybody. 11:30 on Wednesday, the 1st of April. Apologies, this one's late. I've been reviewing the last 2 days' land sessions on the Zoom video, and rather than giving any additional exercises today, I just want to pick up on one or two things we can do better across the board as far as the exercises we've already done are concerned. So, well done to the seniors last night who did the land. And I hope you did all enjoy it. I've had nothing but good feedback so far, including some critique of my exercises when I do them myself. So just to have a think about these, as I say, rather than doing another exercise today, the first thing, when we do the chassé squats, all right, make sure please that you stand nice and tall. Don't lean forwards when you do it. And it's small movements, okay? Control those movements and try and drop a little bit lower on some of the squats if you can do. All right, it isn't to be rushed, it is to get you nice and ready to get in and do whatever else you've got to do for the session. Okay, there were some really nice streamlines that we saw yesterday, people gluing their elbows to their ears, standing tall, head in a good position, so your posture was good. And as you know, I talk posture, line and balance all the time when we're swimming. As far as the thoracic rotations were concerned, okay, try and keep that back nice and straight. But again, these were basically fairly well done, and saw some good rotation right the way through from the hips. So well done on those. On the glute bridges, try to make sure that you've got a straight line when you're up between your knees and your shoulders. Head and shoulders should be on the floor. Okay, and then you push up and pull up using your core muscles and your glutes to get that nice straight line from head to shoulders. From knees to shoulders. All right. On the squats, please try and keep your heels down, and the same applies when you do lunges. Make sure that you lunge and you're lunging forwards on your heel. You've got much better control over your stability at that stage. You're not going to put too much stress through your Achilles tendon. Okay, don't lean too far forwards on the squats. Okay, if you can only go down so far before you need to lean right forward, then that's as far as you can go, and that's fine for the moment. On the sit-ups, again, only go as far forward as you can, although most of those were really well done last night, so thank you for that. On the leg raises, let's try and keep our legs nice and straight as they come up and try not to let them hit the floor. That way around, you're just utilising a slightly different area of your core than you are if you take them all the way down to start with. Okay, plank, basically what we want to try and do is to keep our body nice and straight. All right, not with the hips too high or the hips too low. So don't let your belly sink at all, but try and keep a nice straight line from your hips to your shoulders. And make sure your eyes are focusing slightly forwards, not looking forwards and not looking back through your legs. So just looking towards the floor as if you were swimming on a front crawl stroke. All right. On the Russian twists, some people were just moving their arms side to side. Okay, we want to try and get that shoulder rotation and hip rotation in and down towards the side. It possibly because I didn't do a particularly good demonstration. On the bicycles, basically what I'm looking for is those legs going straight out, okay, and back, straight out and back, rather than cycling up to the ceiling, okay, because again, if we're going out and back, we're looking at working on our core muscles, slightly different if we're cycling up to the ceiling. On the heel flicks, which the juniors did, and the seniors will be getting some later, point the knees downwards, don't let the knees come too far forwards, maintain that nice erect posture for me, okay. And then on the high knees, let your toes point to the ground. Okay, so you bring your knees up roughly to hip height if you can get them up there. And it doesn't have to be too fast unless we're doing as fast as possible round. Okay, but just bring them up there. And if you put your hands out in front of you, you can feel your knees hitting your hands anyway. On the lunges, I've already talked about staying tall, going down on your heel. Okay, stay nice and tall, put your hands on your hips, keep your weight between your feet, so roughly equidistant between your front foot and your back foot, and as I said, keep it nice and vertical for me. All right. On the mountain climbers, the only thing I would say is let's try and keep our backs a little bit longer so that we're not rounded in any way, and that way round we're going to get a better exercise done throughout. On the stretches themselves, on the stretch downs, well done everybody on doing them. And we want to do this now every time when we're at training. When we finish, we can do our stretches, okay? But on the tree hugger, it's really a question of rounding those arms out in front of you. So you're making a circle, trying to stretch your back muscles out, all right? So rather than just reaching straight out in front, all right, trying to reach as if you were reaching round a tree. On the calf stretches, again, we want to try and keep our back fairly straight if we possibly can do, okay, and varying the amount that you lean forwards then, but from your ankle. So it's a one rotation, okay, rather than sticking your bum out or whatever. That will affect the area that you actually stretch on the calf. Quad stretch, try and keep your knees together, okay, heel to bottom. Very difficult for some of us if we are a bit tight, but the closer you can keep them together, the better. And if you can push your hips forward a little bit, obviously that will, no, not obviously, but that will increase the stretch somewhere for some of you. And then the final one, okay, is on the hamstring stretch, is just to try again to keep your weight evenly balanced, okay, rather than wobbling over. So you've got to engage your core all the time when we're doing these things. Hopefully that gives you some form of further guidance as far as the exercises are concerned, and I look forward to seeing groups 1, 2 and 3 tonight to do the leg session that we've got going. And having just done my own session with our PTI, I'll probably be a little bit on the tired side again. Well done guys, I'll see you all later.